precious little dragons, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully today's just going to be a short little video. I am actually going to be going over the Angelica, Nyqvist, and Kaleidos Club Nebula palette. I didn't know I was getting the cool box, but I got the cool box, so I am happy about that. I'm going to use this to store some cool stuff. I don't know what yet, but some cool stuff. I'm on a somewhat low buy this year, but I had to get this because it was nerdy and cute, and that's my kryptonite. Nerdy and cute. I already took it out and swatched it and everything, and I did play around with it yesterday, so kind of a first impression, kind of a review. Obviously I haven't used it like 1,500 times, so I can't tell you like I've used every single shade and I know they're all perfect. Like I can't do that yet, but I have played around with it, swatched everything, so hopefully this will be okay. Aria's in the room with me, so hopefully she doesn't knock anything over. Please behave, I'm begging you. She's officially an adolescent now and is acting like it. Hey. Leave it. So this is the box. Yeah, anyway, this is the box. It's supposed to be the entrance to Club Nebula. It is the same as the box that comes with it. Oh gosh. But obviously this has the foil and the silver on it, and the big box is just matte. And then this is the Club Nebula. So you can see the gorgeous packaging. It's quite a thick palette. So on the back it says, the Club Nebula palette is a collection of my favorite shades for my favorite people. So honestly, this is so Angelica. And it's very sci-fi, very exciting. So I'm planning on, as soon as I actually finish To Sleep in a Sea of Stars, because I haven't been getting through my physical TBR because I just haven't had time. But as soon as I actually finish that, I'm planning on using this palette for that book look. So keep an eye out for that eventually, hopefully at some point before summer. Oh my gosh. I will be using this for that though, because again, nerdy, sci-fi, gorgeous spaciness. Perfect for that. Let's into the Club Nebula. Oh! I'm going to show you. Here's hoping I can actually get this to focus. Okay. Ah! I think I got it. Ah! Yes! Now it's straight on. So you can see all of the gorgeous shades. Okay, so this palette retails for $45. This was my first order with Kaleidos, so I was able to get a little bit off, which was nice. But basically, as soon as Angelica announced it, I knew this would be a really good palette for me. And I don't have a lot of like really kind of grungy fun colors in my collection. And again, nerdy cute is my kryptonite. So there is going to be a restock at some point in the spring. It is sold out right now. If you're really wanting to get it, do keep an eye out for that restock. I'm sure Angelica will be announcing it at some point. One of the other things, so it came with a deck of cards. Well, it doesn't come with, but like it has a deck of cards like in the collection, and I didn't actually have a deck of cards, so I know, like what kind of game lover am I? But the art on it, I mean, like it's simple, but it's pretty. Like, so it's just a nice little deck of cards. It has like the Club Nebula symbol on the back. If you're looking for a deck of cards, just $5, so I mean, I mean, it's honestly not bad for a pretty deck of cards. I've seen them a lot more expensive than that, so that is a pretty fair price if you're in need of a cute deck of cards, or just a deck of cards because you don't happen to have one. Like I had an Uno deck, so not quite. Anyway, so let's get into this palette. There are a lot of different textures and different types of like duochromes, multichromes, and I will say the multichromes are a very, very subtle multichrome. They're not like Cleona or Terra Moons or JD Glow. You're not going to get any of those like ridiculous, absolutely incredible shifts from this palette. They're very, very subtle multichromes. Still gorgeous shades, but you're not going to get that intense level of shift, which I mean, I think this is supposed to be a little bit more of an intuitive palette. It's supposed to be for more people to be able to use, even if you're not necessarily like super comfortable with color yet. I think you're still supposed to be able to use the palette. You're still supposed to be able to get a lot out of it. And I think she was very, like, Angelica is like the queen of colorful eyeshadow looks. Like, she knows what she's doing. She knows how to create a gorgeous color story and create it in a way that a lot of people are able to use it. And the way that the color story is set up, I mean, it's very intuitive. You can go down to create looks, you can go across, you can see they're kind of in the color family. You have the blue-greens on top, you have kind of the mauvey neutrals in the middle, and then you have the warm-toned red shades on the bottom. It's kind of grungy. She did specifically design it so it would go with what Kaleidos already has in their collection. Alright, so I'm going to take you through the different shades, and I will try and do swatching. That is not my strong suit, but I'm going to do my best. Here's hoping. So, starting on the top row, Firefly is a fresh mint green, sparkling duochrome with a frosty fuchsia shift. 7 of 9, a satiny and buoyant Caribbean blue matte. Gravity, a sumptuous sour apple and chartreuse green matte. Queen of Blades, a regal mysterious dark teal green matte and void, an infinitely deep navy blue matte. So I'm going to swatch these really quick. All right, let's see if I can get that shift to show up. Anyway, so this is the shift. You can sort of see that frosty fuchsia in it. Now, I would say all of the glitters in here, they have a clear base, so yeah, they go on very sheer. So they're more like toppers than the pigmented sort of duochromes you might be used to, but it makes them go really well over things. So I'm going to swatch 7 of 9. The mattes are extremely soft to the touch. They're very velvety, very smooth. Okay, so there is 7 of 9. And I will say my camera tends to show things as more blue than they are, and my lighting is kind of blue right now. So in real life, this looks more teal than it is. All right, and then Gravity. So Gravity, you can see that chartreusiness to it. Queen of Blades. I feel like you can really see how like soft that swatch is. And Void. There we go. So you guys can actually see it correctly. So those are those. Those are those. Wow. So the next row, You're My Only Hope, is a luminous lavender sparkling duochrome, adorned with white crystal shimmers and a pale blue shift. Naru, a taupe matte with a hint of plum. Astro, a brilliant royal blue multichrome with a glimmer of warm violet and teal. Rock Hopper, suave deep gray indigo matte. Cylon, a debonair dark plum matte. Here's the You're My Only Hope. So you can definitely see the lavender shift. This one looks gorgeous as a topper. Chef's kiss, gorgeous. I keep looking up at the monitor instead of at the camera. I need to get better at this. So next is Naru. So I'll be the first to admit I don't understand every single one of the references. However, I really loved watching her video and watching her explain how much she loved all of these different sci-fi influences and how much all of them meant to her. Like, for instance, like Firefly is after the sci-fi show that got canceled that I still haven't watched it yet. My friends have been getting after me for literal years to watch it. I still just haven't done it. I know, shame on me. So this is the Naru shade. Please excuse the fact that I pick off literally all of my nail polish. It happens. Whatever. Really bad about that. It's like an anxiety thing. Like I put on my nail polish and then like the same day I'm like peeling it off. It's a really bad habit. I need to get out of it. Astro. So I'm gonna see if I can get the shift because again, this is the multichrome. It's a very, very soft multichrome. So I'm gonna try and see if I can get that shift. So you can kind of see it, and it is a violet and teal shift. So they're in the same color family, which when you have a multichrome where all of the shifts are in the same color family, it's going to look more subtle because it's not like you're not doing a red to green shift where it's like very dramatic. So it is a softer multichrome with a shift in the same family. So if I come at it like this, you can see it better. There we go. At first I was more tempted to call it a duochrome, but like because you can see the teal in there, I would just say the teal is even softer than the violet. But it is still a gorgeous color. Like gorgeous, gorgeous. Yeah. Okay, so next is Rock Hopper. And I will say my first experience with these, I had a surprising amount of fallout, which fallout doesn't really bother me because I do my base after, but if you do your base first and then do your eyes, it's definitely something you'll want to take note of. I will also note that like you do get some staining, so that's something to be mindful of. So especially those like really dark pigmented mattes, you're going to get some staining. Cylon, and I will say they're very buildable mattes, which means you're probably not going to get the pigmentation in the pan from the first swatch. It's supposed to be buildable, so you can do a softer look if you want to, or you can do a more like high impact look if you want to. So this is Cylon. So pale, you might as well swatch on paper. All right, and the last row. Starting on the left, we have Celestial, a radiant hot pink multichrome with decadent golden and fuchsia shifts. Nova, a glistening amethyst blue sparkling duochrome topper with a warm violet shift. Samus, a creamy peach orange matte. Nebula, a rose gold red sparkling duochrome with a molten copper shift. And lastly, Red Giant, a stately deep brick red matte. Right, so this is Celestial. That is not catching the color. Why does it look so? This is so weird. It's like not catching the peach at all. The pinky peach in real life is like really strong, and I'm trying to show it on camera and it's looking just like, It's just looking a lot bluer, and I'm not sure why. Okay, you can see it a lot better in the swatch. So, especially if I turn it like this, I feel like you can see it better. So again, this is a subtle multi-chrome, so I think it works a lot more like, because they're in the same color family, again, it's going to be a bit of a softer shift, even still. And it has a clear base, so if you put this on top of something else, it's going to make the colors look different, and you're going to get a different shift to it. I would say all of the shimmers except maybe Astro have a clear base. I'm not sure about Nebula. We'll get there in a second. All right, next is Nova, and this is specifically a topper shade. Definitely tell, because like where the other ones are clear, this one is like clear. So you can absolutely see the amethyst blue and violet. In fact, I see the violet stronger than I see the blue. All right, next is Samus. Is it Samus or Samus? It's one of the ones, I know some of my friends talk about that one a lot. All right, so this is Samus. So it's that gorgeous peachy matte. And let's see if I can catch Nebula shift. Kind of. So this is the red sparkling duochrome with the copper shift. So you can definitely see the copper in it. Gorgeous, that one. Yeah, I would say this one also, you can see has a clear base to it. So I built it up a little bit so you can see the color and the shift more clearly, hopefully. Here's hoping. All right, and then lastly we have Red Giant. And I would say the ones that come off most pigmented right off the bat are Void and Red Giant. Like those two are like intensely pigmented. Like a lot of them take a lot more building. Like I would say Rock Hopper and Cylon take a little bit of building up. And I noticed Samus, when I used it before, had a little bit of trouble layering over some of the more pigmented ones. Not in a ridiculous way, but just it took a little bit more blending, a little bit more effort. But like you pop Red Giant on the lid and it's going to stay there, you know? Okay, so these are the 5 on the bottom row. Okay, so I am going to do brush swatches and finger swatches. For shimmers, I will almost always recommend like patting it on with a finger because you get better color payoff that way. But just in case you have like really long nails and like don't want to like poke your eye out while trying to put a shimmer on your lid, we're going to do both. Or at least I'm going to do my best. So, vamos. Alright, so these are really bad at like keeping the swatches up here. So these are the different swatches. As you can see, especially these lighter ones, they take a decent amount of building up with the brush. And keep in mind, like my arm's not primed or anything, so oh my goodness. Of course, if you use a primer or anything like that, it's going to pop better. Or if you have like a white base under it, you know, anything like that is going to give you more color payoff and pigmentation. I think you can kind of see it's staining a little bit here. So to be fair, my skin is very prone to staining, partially just because I am ridiculously pale. I mean, pretty much anything is bound to show up on my skin. I bruise easy, I stain easy, I'm a mess, basically. So these are the brush and finger swatches for the second row, and just so you can see, yeah, we got some staining going on. Oh well, I mean, all you have to do is look at this hand to know that there's some staining going on, but you know. We're doing our best. We're trying. All right, last row. Put swatch up there, like so you could see me actually doing the swatch process, but like that would require like taking down my whole tripod setup, and I'm just like, I'm not about that life, so you guys are just seeing the end. I am building them up to where I want, so sometimes it's taking like a couple strokes. I'm not doing a one-stroke swatch because like honestly, I mean swatches are kind of deceptive anyway because it doesn't mimic what it does on the eye very well. It shows off the color really well, but it doesn't necessarily mimic what it looks like on the eye. So there's only so much that swatches are going to do for you anyway, so I feel like I might as well build them up, especially since that's exactly what you're going to do with a brush anyway. Because you don't have as much pressure as you would with a finger, you're going to build it up. You're going to like, you know, make it look good. And like I said, these are very, very soft shades, so they do take some building. They're not like Juvia's Place or anything where it really is like one swatch intense pigment. And you can tell how, like I said, they feel like literal velvet, but that doesn't mean it's bad. I feel like a lot of people kind of misunderstand what like a bad eyeshadow formula is. Like if it's, and it does depend on what you want. Like if you just want something that's going to be easy and like one swipe you're done, this probably isn't the palette for you. But it's not really intended to be, because Angelica's all about playing with makeup. She's all about color, all about building. She has very, very good technique. So she's not a one and done sort of person. So it makes sense that her palette wouldn't be a one and done palette. It's going to take some work, going to take some building, going to have a lot of fun color combos you can play with. That's really the goal here. It's less about, here's something you can do and be one and done instantly. Now, Kaleidos does have other palettes from what I've heard that can do that. You can just kind of, oh my goodness, I need to tap my brush. Tap your dang brush, Callista. Alright, and here is the last row, the finger swatches and the brush swatches. So I would say, as far as the quote-unquote worst shades, as far as like with the brush and having to build up the pigment and make sure you are working really carefully with it, I would probably say Gravity and 7 of 9. So these two up here are probably what I would say the quote-unquote patchiest, but that's when it's coming to a swatch. I used Gravity on the eye when I was just playing around the other day and it went on perfectly. Like, I didn't have any issues with it whatsoever. So swatches can be deceiving, basically. Anyway, let's get started. I'm really excited to just do a fun little look. I don't know what I want. I want to do everything, but that would be a little ridiculous. But I kind of think I'm going to do, should I do 2 looks? But maybe later. Supervisor's already used to me being weird. What's a double eye look? I'll try and make them go together, but be different, because that's fun. I have already primed my eyelids. I just used something. Put it up here. I'm going to start with a little bit of Red Giant, and I'm going to tap it in my crease. This brush is mildly wet, just because I was cleaning it in between swatches. So I kind of want to do a halo eye, so I'm just kind of packing it. Hey, it's 12:39. What? Crap. Okay, I'm gonna have to go much faster. It's supposed to be the lab soon. Crap. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do really fast. I just tapped Red Giant on my inner corner. Again, I didn't realize I was running out of time so much. Typical me, typical me. This is going to be a very fast look. All right, and then I'm going to just put a little bit of sauce on the inner part of my lid. I'm going to blend, 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 blend. Alright, and I'm also going to take a little bit of sauce on the outer part, and then grab a blending brush. I'm going to take a little bit of Naru and blend that out even further. More sauce, and I'm just taking it up vertically. Blend with Red Giant. Okay, awesome. Alright, and then I'm going to take Nebula. I'm going to pop that on the lid. And I'm being messy about it because I don't have time to be precise now. So this is going to be, can you do a really fun, intricate eye look in like 5 minutes? So I'm going to tap a little bit of Celestial on the inner corner. It comes off a lot more pink than you would think. And then I'm going to do, me just dramatically destroy my brush. It's fine, it's fine. I have time, it's fine. I have to be at the lab in 20 minutes. Who cares? Not me. Alright, let's do Void, just for fun. I'm going to use the same technique because when you're doing mismatch eyes on purpose, like you're not just testing it out, you're actually planning on wearing it. Right, so I'm going to take a little bit of Void. Oh, I think this one's going to come off too dark. Okay, so while my camera was cooling down because it's like ages old and it overheats very easily, I blend a little bit of Rock Hopper and Naru up into my crease. Now I'm going to tap some of 7 of 9 on my lid. And see, you can see, even though like it didn't swatch the best, like the pigment's there when you put it on your eye. So don't always go by what finger swatches look like on your arm to like know how it'll look when you put it on your face. Astro, tap it all over the lid. It's just so pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of You're My Only Hope, this one, in my inner corner. So normally I wouldn't do this, but we're running out of time. So I'm going to clean up my under eye with makeup wipe. This is a person who's like, I don't use makeup wipes anymore. I've used like 3 in the past 30 minutes. Yeah, I would say that works. Chill. Where did I put my mascara? In other news, I got my first dose of the COVID vaccine today. So that is awesome. I feel very, very fortunate. I didn't think I was going to be eligible because they were saying for educators it was only for K through 12 at first, but they adjusted it, and so now like all types of educators can get it basically. And since I'll teach in-person labs, I was fortunate enough to be able to sign up. So I feel honestly very, very lucky. I am not taking it for granted that I'm able to get it before a lot of other people. Like my mom also works in education and she's in a different state, and okay, so I just threw a little bit of the crease colors down here Same thing with the middle shade, and then here I did kind of opposites. So I did a little bit of Nova, which is cool tone, on my red eye, and I did a little bit of Celestial, which is warm tone, on my left eye, and I popped on some mascara, and I'm going to run to the lab. Once I get back from my lab, I am going to actually finish my makeup, and I will come back and show you guys the finished look. But oh my gosh, I'm running late. Yikes. Alright, I am back. So it has been a couple hours, so as you can tell, my eyes held up very nicely. My tripod is so unstable. It scares me every time I like touch it, zoom in, zoom out. Like, oh boy. Anyway, so thoughts on the Club Nebula palette. Obviously, packaging, theme, nerdiness, all of that, top notch. I think the color palette is absolutely gorgeous. I think there's a lot of uniqueness to it. You won't really find anything like this anywhere else. It seems very Kaleidos, but if you compare it to like the last palette they did, which is the Escape Pod palette, like that one never really appealed to me because like even though like Kaleidos tends to be really interesting, have a lot of unique ideas, they're very spacey, very fun. Oh, I forgot highlighter. What do you think? Should I do Solar Sailor or Skywalker? We're doing Skywalker because we're going nerdy, right? Now that we've highlighted, you know, because it's a set not to highlight your face. You need a light to shine. What am I even talking about? Like I said, I think the color palette is very unique. In comparison to like their Escape Pod palette, I think this color story makes a lot more sense, but Angelica is known for her colorful looks. She is like the queen of like bright, poppy, colorful eyeshadow. Another thing is, I think this would work really well on a variety of skin tones. Obviously, I can only judge it based on how it reacted on my skin tone, but from the different reviews that I've seen, it seems like it does work, you know, from very pale end of the spectrum down to the deep dark end of the spectrum. And a lot of that has to do with having really pigmented shades, but also just having a lot of these deepening up shades. On the paler end, that means you're going to get a very dramatic look a lot faster, but you can use this to get light, playful looks. If you just wanted to do something that was glittery and easy, I think you could very well take like either like these Naru or Rock Hopper shade, like pop one of the like slightly less intense shades into your crease, or if you're, you know, if you're of a deeper complexion, you can do it with one of the darker shades, and then put one of the iridescent toppers on and you're good to go. Like, you're going to get a glittery, pretty look. I think all in all, it's just an extremely thoughtful, well done palette. Definitely worth your money if you want to get the next restock. Also, it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece. Like, this is definitely one that I'm going to be displaying. I already have my spot picked out for it. It is a truly, truly beautiful palette. Now, the one last note I will say, and this is like very much just like an almost nitpicky thing, but I did notice when I got the package, there was definitely a distinct kind of like chemically factory scent to the palette. And I think it also, hold on, because I also had the Futurism Electric Turquoise, which has it a little bit, but yeah, that one didn't have it as much. So I'm not sure what it was about the creation process that gave this a smell and not the other things, but I have noticed already that it's fading, so I think it just needed time to air out, but it is something to note. So the other thing is the shipping. It is not going to be fast, especially if you're in kind of an out-of-the-way place like Alaska. But I think it is definitely worth it. It's a beautiful piece of artwork. If you want to venture into color, I think this is a fun place to start because you do have some of these like more grungy tones in addition to the bright pops. And I think it's a safe way to get started playing with color. Like, obviously, if you just know you're a neutral person and you don't want any types of color, obviously this isn't the palette for you. That's not Angelica Nyqvist style, so it's not, and it's not Kaleidos' style either, so like it's just not the palette for you if you know you don't like color in your eyeshadow. But if you want to try something new, if you want to be adventurous, if you want to add some color to your collection, I think this is a pretty unique palette. I think that is very high quality. Obviously, I've had my makeup on for a couple hours now. It's lasted really well. I haven't had any creasing, and I do tend to get creasing pretty badly and sometimes even when I have eye primer on, if the shadow isn't of that good a quality, I will still get some creases on my lid, just because for whatever reason, even though the rest of my skin has decided it's going to be dry since I moved to Alaska, my eyelids have decided I am going to be unnecessarily oily just for you. So it's been a really fun adventure while my skin is freaking out. So if you want to check it out, feel free, but I think this is a really fun palette. I can't wait to do more with it. Once I get the To Sleep in a Sea of Stars book look up, I will link it up above. If the link is there, then feel free to go watch that to see what I think of. I hope you've enjoyed this little review. I had a lot of fun with it. I know it's a little bit different than a lot of the like more book heavy content that I make, but I do really love the beauty side as well. So I think I like to try and balance it if I can, like balance the book and the beauty sides of everything, because for me the beauty side is like very much like my artistic outlet, and partially just because it's a lot faster than some of my other artistic outlets, like just painting. So it's easier for me to do on a day-to-day basis and just have a little bit, like a little burst of creativity. So like I do very much love both of those, but like the majority of my content has been very book heavy, which isn't a bad thing. Like I love that, but you know. Oh, also look at my vaccine sticker. I'm so happy I have it. Like my anxiety level, I mean after the needle, because I don't like needles, but like after that my anxiety levels went down so much. I was just like, yay, I can go to lab and not feel like anxious. Yeah. So that's the other big thing today. In case you're, I mean this has zero to do with makeup, but in case you're wondering, my arm does already feel sore. But the actual needle itself was surprisingly, like, I didn't even know it happened. Like the needle itself didn't hurt at all, which was so weird. I was expecting it to be a lot worse than it was. They said to expect arm soreness the day after, so my soreness just started faster, but whatever. I know that's what none of you are here for, but since I got it this morning, I figured I'd talk about it. Didn't have any allergic reaction or anything, so that's chill. Oh, it's a good day. Got to play with some makeup. Oh, I got to hear rats laugh, so that was really fun. Did you know rats can laugh? Because they can. It's really fun. Actually, I'll insert the video here because I think it's just so much fun. You're getting all the nerd stuff in this video. You're getting the sci-fi part of the nerd, you're getting me geeking out over pretty makeup, you're getting vaccines, and you're getting rats laughing. Isn't that just the cutest thing? I love that. I love that rats can laugh. And they're so cute. You can like flip them on your belly, do little tickles. It's so cute. That's all I have for now. Obviously I've rambled a little bit, but I hope you are all having an amazing day. I am hoping to get some more book looks up soon. It's midterms, so obviously things are a little bit hectic, but spring break is also coming, so I will hopefully have some time to film then. Maybe. We'll see. I'll do my best. I'm just trying to keep my head above the water at this point, but you know, that's what grad school is. So this was a fun little break, and now I have to go write a whole other review, so that's all I have for now. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you wouldn't mind liking, commenting, subscribing, any of those things. If you're interested in more of my nerdy bookish beauty content, you can check out my book look playlist up above. I have so much fun with this channel, with filming, with just being creative. It gives me so much joy, and I hope you all stay magic, keep reading. I love you so much. Goodbye!